Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carla Borola and today I'm doing a tutorial using the Tarte shaping palette. I've been using this palette quite a lot. I actually use it every single day to do my entire face. So I love that about this palette, that you have everything that you need. So I'm going to do a really simple look using this palette for my entire face. So let's just get right into it. So first I'm going to start using my Infallible Pro Glow Foundation and I am in the shade 203. So next I'm going to apply my Tarte Shape Tape as usual, and I'm going to use this as my concealer. Then I'm going to take my RCMA setting powder and then set where I have applied that concealer. Okay guys, so now I'm going to start using my Tarte shaping palette, and this is a palette right here. So this palette, I wanted to talk a little bit about it because it's so amazing to me how you can literally use this palette for your entire face. And that is what I love about it. Whenever I travel, this is like the perfect palette to use and to take on the go because it has everything. And actually, as you guys can see, it has a really nice variety of tones, and it goes from a light, really simple browns to dark ones. It has like a black one here, so you can create a very subtle look for the daytime. You can also make it very dark and you can make it very intense. You can use this for a night look as well, so I love that. And you can also mix down here. You can see that it has 3 shades of contour and bronzing, and you can use this depending on your skin tone, whatever shade is good for your skin tone. So you can also mix and match them and create your own tone. So I love using this middle one. It's called Desert, and I love to apply this one because it's a cool tone, so it really helps me to not make it so harsh on my skin. So I just apply this with a synthetic brush and then just apply this on my cheekbones. So you can see that I start building it up and it's extremely pigmented. So I just like tap my brush and then just tap the excess and then just start working it on my face. And it's very simple to use. So I like to start with that middle shade called Desert and then just blend it upwards. So this is my daily routine that I do with any makeup look that I do. I've been doing this and I am in love with it. If I'm going to go out and do a very dramatic look, I usually do start by doing this routine lately. And that's why I wanted to show you guys how simple it is, because I prep for my face. Either I'm going to do a very dramatic look to go out, I still do the same with this palette. And if I'm going to do a very simple look, I do the same thing. I just go in and start building up the intensity that I want with the colors, depending on what I'm doing that day. Once I'm all bronzed up, I'm going to use a little bit of this one on the corner, and this one is terracotta, and I'm just going to lightly tap it and blend a little bit on top just to give it a little more color to the skin. Okay guys, so for my jawline, what I do is I mix these 2 colors and then I just start going in. And I really love this because it really helps you accentuate that jawline. And you can make it as dramatic as you would like. I'm actually going to show you guys what I do for when I go out to make it very cut. And I just started doing this little trick with the darkest shade here in this palette. I love this one because you can just use a tiny bit, and depending on your skin tone, it will give a very dramatic look to that cut where you want to cut. So So I just lightly tap it, and I use this in my jawline to really cut and make a really sharp looking face. And just be careful with this one because it is a little bit dark, so depending on your skin tone. For me, it's a very dark, but if I blend it well, it will give me a very cut look on my jawline, so I love that. So I just apply a little bit and mix it with the other two tones. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to take the middle shade again, Desert, and I'm going to contour my nose with this one because it's more of a cool tone. And then I'm just going to start contouring my nose with it. And as I have told you guys in previous videos, I really like to do a very heavy contour at the beginning, as if I'm baking my face with a lot of product. And actually this palette allows me to do that because the product is so pigmented. Like I just tap my brush in it, and I just like gently apply it on my face, and it comes out super pigmented. So you do have to be a little bit careful with the palette, just not to apply a lot of product in your brushes and then just directly put it on your face, because it can kind of make it a little muddy looking. But when you kind of tap it off, then it'll be fine. And on my nose, I like it this heavy at first, so I'm just going in very heavy. And I also, with this palette, with that same shade, I like to start contouring inward in my eyelid to really accentuate and deepen my eye. So from my nose into that crease. And you guys can see the difference that it starts making. Like it just deepens one of my eyes, you know, the one I'm working on right now. You can see it really deepens that eye, and I love that. So I'm going to go in and do my other one. Okay guys, so sometimes I like to do this on my Cupid's bow as well, just to make it stand out a little bit more. It just depends wherever you guys want to highlight and contour. It's up to you. But I also like to contour down here a little bit, just to make that lip fall a little more, and it will make my lower lip appear a little bit larger. So what I do with this palette, I start off with this shade up here, and this is a pink tone shade. It's called Journey, and let me tell you guys about this shade. I love it to start off as a transitional color in my eye. I love this shade because it looks pink on the palette, and it is kind of a pink tone, but once you put it on your eye, it's kind of like a brown pink. So it really helps you to really start deepening that eye, and it's very pretty. Okay guys, so once I have applied that shade all over my eyelids, I'm going to go in with this shade up here, and then I'm just going to start darkening my outer edges. This is the shade Dunes, and I'm just going to apply this in the crease, like the corner of the crease, just to start deepening my eyes and give more dimension. Okay guys, so with that same color, just deepening in. So once I have that blended in, I'm going to go in with this more reddish brown, and it's called Amber. And I'm going to kind of focus this more in the middle of my eye crease, just to give it a little more tint and color to it. And this will give it more dimension also. And I love how they blend together. They blend together so well. It's a very easy palette to use. So once I have that, I'm going to use, this is one of my favorites to use for my eyes actually, and it's this bottom shade. So this is the shade Timber that I previously used for my jawline. So I'm just going to lightly tap because it's a very dark color, and I'm just going to really focus this on that outer V. And I'm using the same brush for everything because I'm just using browns, and I just wanted to show you guys how you can use this palette very quickly to create a glamorous look or an everyday look, and not switching around a lot with a lot of brushes or spending a lot of time on it. just using a blending brush that is not that fluffy. It's a little bit tighter towards the edges. So this one is a very versatile brush as well. This is actually from Real Techniques and it's number 203 and it's a holiday edition brush. So with the shade Amber, this red terracotta one, I'm going to start doing my lower lash line, and I'm just going to start in the middle and then bringing it out. So then I'm going to apply that Timber darker shade to the outer corner. Then I'm going to work on my eyebrows, and I was so amazed when I started using this palette for my eyebrows, you guys, because I usually do my dip brow from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that is my go-to, and I've never changed it I've been using it for years, so that is the one I go to, and nothing can top that off for me. But then I started using this palette, and since I was doing my entire face with it, I wanted to try my eyebrows as well. So I use this shade Smoke, this dark shade right here. It's kind of like a grayish toned brown. So I just like to do my eyebrows with this one, and when I started doing this, I just fell in love with it because the shadow is so extremely pigmented that it allows me to actually fill in my eyebrows very smoothly and very sharp because the product just lights on. So that's very nice, and that's when I started using that more. And actually now what I do is I go to this palette first and I do my eyebrows, and I kind of do like an outline, and if I need a little more pop or if I'm going out at night, then I do use my dip brow on the edges of it to make it more dramatic. But now this is my go-to for my eyebrows for a daily look. So just look how smoothly that slides on. I'm just going to dust off all of that excess powder that I did from my baking, and then I'm going to start highlighting my face with some of the light shades that the palette has. This palette though is all mattes, so if you do like a highlighted face, then you probably do need an extra highlighter, but if you're just going for a matte look that day, then you will be fine using this palette only. And what I started doing is with one of the lightest shades from the palette, I use the lightest one, this one right here. It's called Solstice. I just literally like tap a brush into it and then just start going in my under eye area, and then just to brighten my under eye area with it. And this palette does have 3 shades that are kind of light. So we have this one that is a very white, fairly white, and then we have a middle tone and a more pink, darker one. So you can probably use those shades to highlight your face if you have a darker complexion. So I'm just going to go in with the lightest one because I love my under eye to be very extremely bright. That's just preference, depends how you like to apply your makeup and what look you are going for. So as you can see, it really makes a big difference. It really brings light to my face, and I love that with this palette. I can do that. And I'm also going to apply this to the center of my forehead a little bit, just to bring a little light to it, and my chin, and to cut that contour in those cheekbones, just a little bit to lighten that. Then I applied nude. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade Stripped. So I just applied that to my lips, and then I added a little bit of mascara to my eyes, and I am using the Maybelline mascara. This is a Lash Sensational Lucious Full Fan Effect mascara, and this is just a very simple look. I'm going to set my face with the Maybelline Master Fix setting spray, and then let that dry on my face. Okay guys, so this is the finished look that I came up with using only the Tarte Shaping palette, and I love this palette. You guys need to get this palette because it's so versatile. If you guys are looking for an all face palette that you guys can use one palette for your entire face, then this is a palette that you guys need to go buy. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one.